Good morning. I am Beth Hildenbrand, and this is Booked Up with Beth. And today we have two beautiful ladies with us, Kerry Marzock and Susan Joyner-Stumpf. And I am so excited because it's Poetry Day, and everybody knows I love Poetry Day. So, welcome, ladies. I am so happy to have you on the show.
Glad to be.
Thank you, Beth.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm just all giddy with excitement. So I'm going to take a minute and let the ladies tell us about themselves. We'll start with Kerry, who is a favorite on the show.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kerry Marzock. I live in Canton, Ohio right now, transplanted from Pennsylvania, but hopefully excited to get back there in the next year sometime. I write novels and poetry both. My Raven series is about Johnny Raven, who is a special type of werewolf, and also bring in some vampires for those people who like the bloodsuckers. And I also have an alien novel called The Reptilian Factor, and that will also be eventually a second book whenever whenever Beth keeps pounding on me to start writing it.
Yes, we definitely want a second to that book. I just finished it. I need it.
Yeah,
It's an obsession now.
Yeah, I really had fun writing that one, especially. Yeah.
That was such a good book. At first, I was like, And then, oh my God, you just knocked me for a loop at the end. But we're going to have you back to talk about that one because, hey, yes, got to talk about that one.
Yeah.
And Susan, oh my God, I love your poetry. What can I say? You sent me the books, and I was like, oh, wow. Couldn't get enough. Could not get enough.
She's mesmerizing.
She is. Oh, she makes me feel like a little high school kid scribbling when I read her poetry. So let's hear about you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Susan Joyner-Stumpf. I write poetry. I've been writing since the age of 7. I won't tell you how long because I'm not going to give away my age. I also write short stories and songs, quotes. Writing's a passion, and that's basically, everything else about me is a little boring, but I am definitely a poet, and I don't stop writing. I won't stop writing even on my deathbed. So.
Okay, you are also the publisher of Wildfire magazine.
The owner, yes. Mm-hmm.
Which you have given me the honor of being in and sharing a cover on.
It won't be the first time.
Thank you. And let's see, you are close to writing your 100th book of poetry.
I am. I'm on book 98 now.
Wow. I can't even imagine.
It's already written. 98, I have to, it's a long story. I don't know how much you want me to go into. Book 98 is extremely interesting.
Now, I hear one is about your dog.
Yes. It's called Denver, State of Heart, instead of Denver, State of Colorado. That I whisper every time I talk about Denver, but he's still with me, Beth, but I don't know how much longer. And that book is basically written. It's all the poems that I've written for him prior to his diagnosis, July the 31st of 2024. So the book is a tribute to him. Before he was diagnosed and since his diagnosis of bone cancer. So that book, I'm not looking forward to publishing because that will mean he's gone.
It's just wonderful that you would make a tribute to him.
Wow. I've had dogs all my life, Beth, and there's 2, and I've told Kerry there's 2 dogs in my entire life, and Denver's one of them that love me this much. No dog has been like, I've had animals all my life. Denver is so special.
I think everybody has that one. Mine was when I was a young girl. So I know where I understand. And that's fabulous that you can do this as a tribute. And you're in my prayers for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to hear book 99?
Absolutely.
Okay. Book 99, and I told Kerry, a year ago, Beth, a year ago, a woman found me 40 years ago. Now, I'm originally, I didn't say it when you introduced me. I'm originally from New Orleans. I'm a New Orleans girl, and I've been here in Colorado for 25 years. So I'll make this kind of brief. A year ago, a woman contacted me, Beth, from 40 years ago, honey, and said, I have something of yours, Susan Joyner. And I'm like, oh gosh, like what? She had to wait till technology caught up, Beth. 40 years ago, in between jobs back in New Orleans, I was working at a temp agency. In between jobs, I've always been a legal secretary, but I took this temp job for 3 days. And, back then, we're looking at 40 years ago, right? No Facebook, no Instagram, no TikTok, no cell phones. So I always carried a notebook to write down my poems. Well, I still do that, but now I've got my cell phone with my notepad in it, But back then, so I had a notepad, 2 of them with me on that temp job. When the temp job ended on the 3rd day, that Friday, I left my 2 notebooks full
Oh my gosh.
Connie, full of poems. The woman had no idea how to get a hold of me. The company just a year ago merged with another company, and they were going through all the paperwork and all this stuff, and she came across my notebooks from 40 years ago, before I married Howard, before I was Susan Joyner-Stumpf. I was still Susan Joyner. And she says, I didn't know how to get a hold of you. I found you a year ago. She found me on Facebook. She says, she said, she looked at me. She said, she kind of remembered. She was the human resources director there. She says, I have something of yours. She sent me a picture, and sure enough, it was my notebooks. And she mailed them to me from New Orleans. From 40 years ago. So
oh my God.
But the problem is, I have to type all that. It's all handwritten. 2 notebooks full of poems, like a time warp, Beth, from 40 years ago. So the book is going to be called 40 Years Lost and Found.
Oh my goodness. I just can't even imagine.
Thrown it away, Beth. She could have thrown 2 notebooks full of poems, handwritten in 3 days. But she just said it has to. She looked through it. She said, oh my goodness. I knew this girl was scribbling something every now and then in between the phones and working with clients, but I had no idea she was a writer. And she kept all that. She had to wait till technology caught up. She had no way to get a hold of it.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
I'm going to dedicate the book to her. Obviously.
Wow.
So that
oh my God.
So Denver's good. So book 100 is going to be called Centennial.
Oh my God. What did you think? I mean, when you read those poems, what did that bring back for you?
I couldn't believe it. It's like a time warp, because it was like in between things in my life. I just left a particular law firm, and I never liked to not be busy. So I just picked up a little 3-day temp job in between going on that interview Monday for the new law firm that I was going to be interviewing with, which I got, the 3rd largest law firm in the South, Adams and Reese. But I had left a law firm the Friday before, and then I signed up with a temp agency, and we said, we have just a 3-day assignment, Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday. She said, we know it's below you, just answering phone. But I said, I don't care. I'd love to talk on the phone and type and be a clerk typist. I don't care, because I'm a legal secretary. And I said, I'll do that. I did it for 3 days. I always carry them on, like us writers do. You got to remember, it's 40 years ago. I didn't have we didn't have cell phone. Because now, though I still carry notepads with me, I always have my cell phone has that notepad in there, and you can type right in there and save all your, when the creativity hits you. I can't believe she could have thrown it away. It's like I look at these poems and I'm like, well, let me see if I can even find this for you.
That's just incredible. Hi, Penny. Thanks for stopping in.
Do y'all see this? This is one of the notebooks.
Ah!
All handwritten stuff. I mean, I'm like,
Oh, did they even make that kind anymore? That's adult steno pads. That's fabulous.
Notebooks. I even had the title at the time from 40 years ago because I love wolves, and I preserved. It's called Wolf Cry.
Oh.
But I'm not going to call it that. I am going to call it 40 Years Lost and Found, because it took 40 years for technology to catch up so she could get a hold of me. And she found me on Facebook a year ago and says, I have something of yours, Susan Joyner, now Joyner-Stumpf.
Oh my God, that's just the most incredible story.
Unbelievable.
So who is your favorite writer or poet?
I have so many. But I'll tell you who. I grew up with the classics. Okay, if we want to, go back in time, I've always liked my influences. Beth, have always been E.E. Cummings and T.S. Eliot, because I'm a free verse. So they were my idols. And then Rod McEwen.
Yes.
Rod McEwen, and
Same.
And as far as your older, like Rumi, Pablo Neruda, and Gibran, and then all Walt Whitman, then Steinbeck, all your classics. And then as far as your newer ones, of course, Kerry, and then Robert Bradley. I got you, Robert, got you covered. And then there's just too many. There's just too many to name. I've met so many great writers since coming on social media. It has its ups and downs, that. It has its pros and cons. The pros is meeting Kerry and you and all these other writers, networking with people that we have share a passion with. There's just too many poets to really narrow down. But those were my early influences. I've been writing since I was 7 years old. And so by the time I was 12 and 13, I could already recite T.S. Eliot and E.E. Cummings poems. And I followed because I can rhyme. I can do sonnets, Shakespearean and Elizabethan sonnets, but I like freedom. It just comes out, and I don't want to, I got to have the perfect meter, have this, have that, rhymes. Nothing wrong with that, because I can do that too. I prefer free verse.
I grew up with T.S. Eliot and E.E. Cummings, and my uncle was a teacher, and he said, "Oh, you need to read Rod McEwen," and I just took off from there. So that was a lot of what I grew up with as well. Fabulous writers, all of them, and then of course I went through my Jim Morrison phase.
Oh yeah. You gotta mention some of the females: Sylvia Plath, Anne Sexton.
Yes.
Mary Oliver, great nature poetess.
Oh, I'll tell you what, back in the day, oh boy, to be young again and sit around the fire with your buddies and spout poetry. Oh wow, we've got so many questions, but we need to start reading some poetry.
Kerry.
I want to hear some poetry, ladies. So, who would like to start?
Doesn't matter, Susan.
I would love to hear Kerry.
Okay, Kerry, let's have some good poetry.
All right. Well,
you're cracking again, honey.
I think I have to hold.
So
I think I have to hold the phone. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
I can hear you now.
Okay. As most of you know, and people who have bought my books, my novels, I love to start and end each novel with a poem. My novel, The Reptilian Factor, the poem that starts this is called Night of the Sphinx. Um, Bewitching time is but the sweet breath of night, spheral whispers wafting from a silvering moon, awaiting the explosion of a vibrant sunrise. She is called forth to defile the beguiled, sweet demonic daughter of the chimera, intoxicating mistress of evil's delight, moving to the swirl of biting sands with the sway of haunting palm fronds. She dances, she twirls, she spins to evil madness, pounding heart of a lion surging to come alive, bathed in moonlight before pre-dawn's awakening, nighttime breezes singing loudly for beasts to thrive. Listen closely to the crackling winds. Can you hear the lion's ravenous roar? The moan and groan of hunger to be appeased. Carnal need to touch just one more sacrifice desired by the feral beast who is now part woman born with the wings of an angry bird and lizard's lashing tail. She slides with silent grace throughout the dark of night, selecting another victim walking upon the trail of shadows. The she-beast whispers into the prey's unsuspecting ear. Which creature in the morning goes on 4 feet, at noon on 2, and in the evening upon 3? The riddle left unanswered, his heart now belonged to her. Soft fingers lovingly caress like silken threads, hands of a strangler flexed with brutish strength. She revels in the power of one more conquest met, her magical beauty used to mesmerize and enchant. Demonic appetite once again sated with but one more devoured soul. Fresh taste of blood upon her sweet lips. Within twitching ears a fading beat from yon dying heart, forever consumed by human frailties, deceit, and lies. Roaring at a resplendent moon, she unfurled her wings to soar high into darkened sky towards a beckoning morn of an approaching resplendent, blood-red tangerine sunrise. Her urgent desires satisfied, monstrous hungers now subdued. Gliding upon angry thermals, long wings spread wide, sinister shadows brushed upon the quivering earth below. Night after night her lion roared as death begets more death. Souls once wasted upon the living, now swaying within her chanting song of everlasting life. For she is the queen of darkness, demon of destruction. Then came that fateful night when she asked the same question. Which creature in the morning goes on 4 feet, at noon on 2, and in the evening upon 3? Oedipus smiled, for he knew the answer to destroy her. His reply? Well, it is but man, who crawls on all fours as a baby, then walks upon 2 feet as an adult, and with a cane in his old age. With a painful growl that rumbled across the ground below, she emits an angry roar that thunders through the heavens. A shrill shriek arose that stilled all human heartbeats. This she-beast flung her body from the ragged cliff, a demon now devoured by lost souls within her, terrifying night of the Sphinx to be no more. But still, when yon silvered moon hangs high, as a dark breath of night caresses me, a growl starts low within my breasts. For now this wild lion craves to stalk the street again, while angry raptor shrieks to flee the nest. The demonic beast will rule once more, for unsuspecting prey will surely die.
Whew. Oh, imagery. Oh, it's just kind of
I love that.
life.
I love that. That was wonderful.
Yeah, I do write. I do write a lot of dark poetry.
Now, which book? Which we know that your poems go before your novels and at the end. Which novel was that, Kerry?
The Reptilian Factor. Now, I did not end this one. I don't know why. I think it was because this is the longest. This is the longest of my novels. So when I finished it, I just forgot to add one at the end. That was my goof.
That was a fabulous poem, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You want me to read a shorter one, and then we'll let Susan go?
It sounds good to me.
All right. So this one here kind of has a just a very short story before it. I think as authors, in fact, I just spoke to somebody about this the other day. How so many times when we wake up and we've been dreaming about something, uh, sometimes those dreams can really become magnified in our brain, and we end up starting to write something about it. And one night, I fell asleep and the TV was on, and it was on to a music channel. And I woke up in like the middle of the night, like around 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's this beautiful piano music playing. So before before I actually, and I reached over, I grabbed my pad, like you were talking about earlier, and I had a pad beside the bed, a pad beside the toilet, a pad beside my chair downstairs. You know, anyway, uh, and and I wrote this out called Piano Nights. Sometimes when I lie alone, eyes tightly closed, I can hear the piano keys of my life, ivory white in their brilliance, solemnly black under subdued silence, tastefully melodic within such sweet perfection, angrily raging over misconstrued abstraction, and yet sadly out of tune, missing a beat here and there, nervous fingertips running up and down lonesome arpeggios, teardrops reaching to who knows where, flats of purple haze, sharps of graying days, softly singing moonbeams sigh to the melody of unrecorded goodbyes. The fading blues of love's unfinished symphony dies out in my haunted eyes. But when I cry for only you. And I think part of that was really written for my husband, Richard.
I was
Didn't
just
I do a
thinking that's
song with
so
that?
sad.
Yeah,
Kerry, didn't I turn that into a song for you?
you did. You
On
did.
Oh,
tune?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sure did. That was because that's one of my favorites too. That.
Yeah. All right, Susan, you want to read some?
Sure. It took me a while. You can ask Kerry, Beth. Trying to find short poems for me, it's kind of hard. I'm kind of people tease me and say you're a novelist poet because some of my poems run 3 and 4 pages. So I did find three that were pretty that won't take up the whole show. But now just bear with me, everybody. I'm not used to reading my own stuff. Okay, so
it's hard, isn't it?
it is. I'd rather somebody else read it, but that's okay. This is called Word Blood. Were you ever not a poet? Perhaps your pens were a mere part of your vast, rare collections, forgotten artifacts on a dusty shelf in your home office, alongside a replica of Nicola Puccini's violin and an excellent reproduction facsimile of Purgie's tablets. Ink of importance dried like the last pink tears on Persephone's face. Hades is closer than you think. As if missing the D-Day bugle bonsai of the battlefields of Normandy were even a remote possibility. What be your war cry for a poem that died in the shrapnel, or one not born at all. Now you see what you mean to the world. You're its five senses awakening the unpoets to clean their dusty shelves while listening for a call to arms in the name of literature's genesis, its birthright, opus, memoria, eternal. You were always a poet, my friend. You brought back words into silent souls, hungry for something they could not name, but began to bleed once fed its beautiful wounds. Another,
I love that.
you
I
like
love that.
Now, sometimes I realize I get really deep. And like Kerry says, sometimes I have to read your stuff over and over again. You know, you just never know. Now, I've got two more, and they're short as well, because like I said, it was hard to find. It took me an hour to find short poems. This one's called Against the Grain. You dared the myth. You trusted the monster. Now the guppy stares at you from the other side of the fishbowl. You courted the matrix, made love to the algorithms of psychopathic window displays. Where did it all end but at the black pond's edge, and you can't even swim? Where did you begin again but back to trying to win my heart when you never had one? A drum sounds hollow in an empty chest.
Wow.
Last one, nothing to do with my company Wildfire, but I just named it Wildfire. Lost drizzles in a dry rainstorm. Why an inferno would seek its own loneliness astounds me. The continuum of burn-scarred dreams. We are moths lured to a violent flame, one we can neither comprehend nor mend. The shyer the fervor, the softer the eye, traveling down the undressing, penetrating pinpoints of emotion, like reflections search for themselves behind estranged mirrors. Semi-gold embers, lost screams truths, smothered in the molten ash of shame. The smoke, ghosts that call my name. So we wander among them, fondling with mixed emotions, picking up pieces of misplaced lives, perhaps the ones that unloved us the most. I feel tentacles recoiling in perfect dead pearl pain. There is no drape for gossamer loss, only nakedness of modest regret. But nonetheless, there is always that rhythmic wildfire, inextinguishable, of the immortal human heart.
Love it, love it, love it.
Thank you.
You know, just real quick. Before I had ever met Susan, I ran across one of her poems on Facebook. So many, I mean, I don't know how many years ago now it was, but anyway, I started reading it, and I think before I even got a stanza or two down, I started rereading again what I had just read, not because I didn't understand it, but because I wanted to read it again and slower. And I do that with so many of her poems because each line rings true, and you have to understand what it's saying, and then when you do, it just hits you. So at that point, then I knew exactly who my favorite poet was.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
I want to say hi to Greg and Kenneth. Thank you for stopping in.
I got
I know for me, when I look at a new book of poetry, I will read a few poems a day. I never will sit and try and read a book of poetry. You can't do it and get anything out of it.
right.
Right.
Poetry is feelings and emotions And you have to be able to take that in. It's not like reading a novel for enjoyment. Poetry is so much more than that. So I take my time with poetry, especially, if it's my friends or, well, anyone's really, when you want to review it, especially. Because you are taking on, it's raw and emotional. So you have to really be able to feel it and understand it. And everybody will come away with something different when they read a poem.
Agree.
It like looking at a painting.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to see something different in that picture.
Yeah. And it's just,
so I can never just read through a book of poetry.
yeah.
So yes, I will read a poem 2 or 3 times to get something out of it.
Yeah. You always see something different, don't you?
Yes.
Something next time around.
Yeah.
And I am always telling people, especially nowadays, poetry is not what your grandfather read. Try it again. There's people who think, it's all academic and it's all, blown up in your head and Shakespeare. I happen to love Shakespeare. That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the 8th grade, I fell in love with Shakespeare and that was the end of it. But it's different now. Like my poetry, a lot of it is short, sweet, and in your face. Take another look at poetry, and you are going to find something that connects with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do that on my with TikTok. I'm trying to learn TikTok. God help me, but I am. And this is what I tell people.
Let me know.
Yeah, it's not hard enough just trying to navigate Facebook and Instagram. And I refuse to do the Twitter or the Tweeter or the X or whatever the hell it is now. People are just mean and hateful and grouchy. I stay away from that. But yeah, I'm trying to navigate the TikTok. And that's what I tell people. Try poetry again. Because I promise you're going to find something you like.
Come on.
It's not Shakespeare. Anybody can find some poetry that's going to connect with them these days. And I honestly believe that, or I wouldn't say it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it is.
So, yes, I'm trying to turn people on to poetry. I think, it's a great thing.
It's a dying art, but I don't think it is.
It's not.
It needs to be refurbed. It's just like you said, it needs more attention. We poets are starving. No.
We are. You don't think you're going to make money as a poet. You're not. But you're, with people and their feelings and everything so messed up in this world today, find poetry. You're going to connect with somebody. You're going to connect with yourself even. You're going to realize you're not alone in this world with all its madness. I think it would help people tremendously to find a poet that they can connect with.
Yes, I agree with that.
I do too.
Absolutely.
So yes, I push poetry like a drug, a safe drug. I think the world needs it.
I do too.
And books as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want a new reality, find a book. Books can take you anywhere.
Take you anywhere you want to go.
As a child, thank God for books. I mean, I was an avid reader, and it allowed me to just get lost.
Yes.
It didn't make any difference how mad mom and dad might be at me or whatever. It was, or if I had a fight with a friend, you could just get yourself lost in a book. And I just don't think there's enough of it anymore today.
But that's why I started writing, Beth.
Yeah.
I started writing. I don't want to go into it too much, but because I had a traumatic, abusive childhood, and that was my escape. I was creating my own world, because even before I wrote poetry, I was writing stories, and it just evolved into that by the time I was 9. But from 7 to 9, I was just writing stories, just to escape. So books, highly, young people today and just anybody actually, books are just wonderful because the imagination is unlimited, you know?
Yes, it is. I had a perfect childhood. I mean, I had a great childhood, but I was one of those kids with night terrors. They could not get me to go to bed. I would scream myself awake every night. And books saved me. I
Yeah,
would just stay awake and read.
Yes.
I read all night long. My mom said she used to have to push the books out of my bed to put me in it at night. And yeah, I just get the books right back after you left the room, and stay awake and read because
So
I was afraid to go to sleep.
Saved us. Because it saved us.
Yes. Yep. Books were, but kept me sane as a child because I would not sleep.
that's true. Yeah, and it was just, I think it's just very important. And again, going back to what I said earlier, unfortunately, I just don't think the young people today growing up. Um, I don't know if my brother's ever read a novel. I don't.
Do they even teach that y'all know the young
As much
parents? Do they
of my
still teach the classics in English literature?
yeah.
Well, I was surprised. My son came home, he was in the 10th grade, and he got to choose Gothic literature at school. I was like, why did I not get to learn this in the 10th grade?
Mm,
Why
mm,
was this not available to me in
right.
high school? I mean, we got a literature class, but this was not something we got to pick. I all but took the class for him because I was so excited about it.
No. No.
His very first book he got to read was The Monkey's Paw.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, ooh, I'm sitting there reading it. He's like, Mom, go away. Yeah, go away. But yeah, I mean, they're getting a lot better choices than we had, or at least than I had as a kid.
I wasn't sure if they, were still getting to read the classics and still being exposed to as influences, and like you said, even if they don't want to be writers themselves, a lot of people just enjoy reading, I've got a lot of followers and fans. They don't write themselves, but they follow me and Kerry because they love poetry. We got some mutual friends that don't write poetry themselves, but they follow Kerry and I and read our stuff because they love to read poetry and novels.
And as I mean, as far as like we have like Wildfire, we have so many excellent poets as members of Wildfire,
Yeah.
and it's just like wow to have this many in a group, and we're always finding new ones that just grab you,
Yeah.
and their poetry sinks inside, and you can't let it go. You keep thinking about it, and it's fantastic. I mean, we got Robert, and we got Renee, and we got, oh my God,
Oh
so
my
many.
gosh. We got 25,
Yeah,
besides myself, 25 people, 25 in Wildfire. And I started it in 2015, so 10 years ago, March the 24th, 10 years ago. And right after I started the magazine. So that's 10 years ago. In fact, the magazine, Kerry, we could have done this now. The magazine used to be monthly.
yeah,
Only about since you and I met, and I brought you on after my best friend, Kenneth Norman Cook, died, and he was my vice president. Did you know Kenneth Norman Cook, Beth?
No, I did not.
He was my best friend. He was an excellent poet. But anyway, lost him to suicide. And then I met
Oh,
Kerry. Now, Kerry, I had met you already
yeah.
because
You were,
you knew Ken, because you were with me before he even passed, because you helped me through it
yes,
when he
and
died.
yes, yes,
And then I made you, and then I brought you on to be with me. Uh,
right.
but we have just got so many great people, and my goodness, we have just a great team. Just a, I had some
Then,
here.
and while she's looking for something, and besides that, then we have our awesome friend Robert Bradley, who started Guardians of the Quill,
Yes.
and we're actually working on our next anthology, which is what, number 3?
Yes.
Yeah,
We're working on well, you know, the Guardians, the volume 3 is kind of off in the future, but the book you're talking about is the anthology that we're working on right now. Um, uh, uh, Goodness gracious, you caught me on the spot here.
meant to do that.
It's it's our oh, Robert's gonna kill me for this. I can't remember it was turn left and go right, but we changed the name to Spectrum. Let me.
But it
I
has
don't get this right. Robert's gonna kill me.
it hasn't actually come out yet, so there'll be a big,
Right? No, it's in progress right now.
but I mean, it's just amazing that there are so many wonderful poets out there.
I know I gave you something for an anthology. I'm not sure which one.
I'm gonna tell you in a minute because Robert's gonna kill me if I don't. I can't. I'm so embarrassed. Y'all keep talking while I'm looking for this. God, he's gonna read me the riot act here.
All right, here, I'll read another poem.
Yeah, read another
There you
poem.
go. Let's hear another poem. Ah.
Good. Make it long.
Okay. You know, speaking
Oh,
of,
the spectacle of it all.
oh, there you go.
There we go. Okay, I still want to hear your poem. Okay.
All right. Well, because of my Raven novels and stuff, and because I love werewolves. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
This one's called Call Me Wolf.
Lost them.
A rabid, howling moon reaches out to grab my strangled throat with craving, hungry claws. The insanity of lunar midnight now driving me insane. My fingers curl into nervous, anxious paws. The curse of being once bitten by infected teeth, bathed in angry, yellow-hooded wolfsbane. Searing pain shrieks violently through skin and bone, while beseeching moonbeams scratch and rip away all straggling shreds of lost humanity. The sharp echo of altering joints and the scream of stretching sinew blend together as Call of the Wild howls a sad farewell to society. Nostrils widely flared in anticipating delight, a hunter's golden eyes now searching for wary prey, ears twitching forward at the mewling cry of frightened beasts now cowering within the night. The dizzying rush of desire for the taste of hot blood, torn from flesh once alive, now races through my veins. The ravenous moon has called my name once more, as I stand in regal silhouette on grizzled hillock, bathed within the glow of silver moonbeams. I toss my head skyward, gleaming fangs snapping angrily at grinning stars, lost in heaven's angry roar. A growl of primal terror builds to soulful lament as man and wolf combine to sing in lonely harmony. The mind of man now locked inside the shadow of a beast, to rip and claw and tear, but to forever cry and pray for everlasting peace.
Awesome.
That was a fabulous book, too. I just love your books. I own every one of them now. Okay, ladies. Well, we've been at this for a while, and I'm about to get descended upon by grandchildren.
Can we just take a minute or two and let Susan talk a little bit about wildfire?
Yes, absolutely.
Susan, go ahead.
Well, We started Wildfire 10 years ago, in 2015. And the reason I started Wildfire real quick was because, just like everybody else, I got tired of paying the prices of being published.
Oh, yes.
So I decided that I would teach myself, and that when I did, I would help others. So it's not that I ever went into this for money. Kerry and I only charge enough for our time, effort, and skill set. And I still maintain that my goal is to put people in print that never thought that they could. And we work with people, veterans. We don't charge. And it's just that I always wanted to help people get into print that thought they never could. And basically that's the foundation of Wildfire. That's the reason I started it. I'm not in it to make big, I never expected to. Just like I don't know about y'all, but I never went in to be a writer to think I was going to be Stephen King. It'd be nice, but I know I'm not. It's my passion. I love to write, and to publish my own books. I thought, if I can do this for myself, if I learn to do it for myself, I'm going to do it for others, and I'm going to help them too. Basically, that's it. That's how Wildfire started.
And we do poetry, children's books,
novels, memoirs,
anything that you know.
That's fabulous. I respect.
Thank you, Beth.
I mean, that's why I do this show, is to help
more clients before the holidays hit, to put you on the calendar.
I mean, that's why I do this show, is to help. I wouldn't know where to begin to do what you do, and I am grateful. And like I said, I so appreciate you putting me in the magazine when you do. It means the world to me.
Good to have you, Beth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Want me to last time?
Yeah, Beth, what you do is just awesome. I mean, you give authors a chance to come. People can see them.
You give them a platform and a voice.
And they can read, and they can talk about, what makes them want to be a writer, and the fun and also the pitfalls of being a writer, because there are,
oh boy, there are.
So, but
it could be relationship, situations.
Well, Susan, anyone you want to send to me, I'm more than happy to put on the show. That's what I'm here for. I just want to help where I can.
I can think of a few people off the top of my head, so I will check with them to see if they want to come on your show.
All you have to do is send them to Nina, and she will set them up. She's fabulous, and
yes,
she's my girl.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nina.
Way, Nina.
Hey, Nina.
Love her.
Thank you, Nina.
And again, I am grateful for all you have done for me personally. I'm grateful for you coming on the show and letting everybody know what you do, because you're fabulous. And Nina has put up your links. And if you guys want to go back and answer some of the questions that we didn't get to, because I really wanted to hear your poetry and get it on the show. Yeah, we missed a whole bunch of questions in there.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go on and answer for sure.
And thank you both so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Greg says he loved all the poems. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for coming on this, or for watching. Tomorrow we have Liz Kane on the show to talk about her book. And I should say my book, The Last Hex, will be out before Halloween. So everybody needs to check that out because it's fabulous.
Wow.
Good. Good.
And I got to say, my new book, my new poetry book, Crossroads, is, I don't know, it will be out soon.
All right.
At least before the holidays. So everybody needs to check that out too. I'm just a working fool when I'm not playing with my grandbabies. So thank you, ladies, both
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank
Love you, and can't wait to have you back on again. After you hit 100, Susan, gonna have to come back on the show.
Thank you, Beth.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, guys, have a great afternoon.
You too, Beth.
Thanks.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Whoop.